What we're interested in are the very realities at stake. When St. Thomas asks a question, it's because he thinks there's an answer, something in reality that corresponds to our inquiry. When he investigates the faculties of the soul, it's with precisely this disposition. He begins by describing what's out there, so as to discover how we, as embodied souls, engage with those realities. St. Thomas doesn't want to get into lengthy speculations about unverifiable interior states. Rather, he wants to describe what is and how that impinges upon us. Here are the facts. Because we are this type of creature, our bodily and spiritual life is built up by a variety of goods. We want to realize our potential. We want to engage profitably with our environment and to flourish. Concretely, we want to stay in existence, both individually and as a species. We want to raise up a next generation. We want to live peaceably in society. We want to know God. Now, because of what we are, certain things on offer leap out of the otherwise neutral fabric of reality and address us as goods. The faculties of our soul are just the powers that engage with these goods. It's that easy. So first a word about powers in general, and then we'll build out our picture of the powers from the most humble to the most exalted. The soul, we said, makes the human person to be alive. And as we observed, living things perform certain activities. Now, the soul is the principle of these activities, which it causes through its powers. The powers are like the instruments by which the soul interacts with reality. So, let's begin with the most basic powers common to plants, animals, and human beings. These are self-nutrition, growth, and reproduction. In effect, all life wants to preserve its own existence, and the soul acts through certain powers to secure that end. Self-nutrition works towards the preservation of bodily existence. Growth helps the individual come to its full term, and reproduction ensures that the species will endure beyond the present generation. These three powers work towards one end, to preserve and hand on the fullness of bodily life. Ascending the ranks, there are higher powers at work in the souls of animals. First, there is sense cognition, or just sensation. Most animals are equipped with senses, the 5 external senses and the 4 internal senses. The 5 external senses we all know: sight, hearing, smell, taste, and touch. Each is attuned to a particular facet of material reality. The 4 internal senses are the common sense, which coordinates sense experience, the imagination, which generates sense images, the memory, which stores sense images, and the estimative power, which is perhaps best described as animal reason. Now, all this sense data stirs in the animal a desire for the things which are apprehended as good or as fitting. When the animal feels hungry and perceives food, it wants to satisfy its desire. And so, sense cognition issues in sense appetite. In effect, the sense appetite moves the animal towards the goods it needs for bodily life. The sense appetite is commonly divided into the concupiscible power and the irascible power. The concupiscible power is the seat of love, desire, pleasure, hatred, aversion, sorrow. These passions have the simple good or evil for their object. It's basically see, desire, assimilate. The irascible power is the seat of hope, despair, daring, fear, and anger. These passions have the difficult good or evil for their object. There's some obstacle or trial that needs to be overcome in order to achieve their goal. We'll say more about these in a later video. Aristotle also speaks about the power of locomotion, but that need not detain us here. Basically, animals move. Let's pass on then to the highest powers found only in rational animals, namely intellect and will. These powers set man apart from the beasts. What is more, intellect and will actually perfect our exercise of the lower powers, assuming them into a rational life. As a result, we don't sense and desire like mere animals, but our lower powers are realized in a spiritualized existence. The intellect is the seat of intellectual cognition. In the case of sense cognition, we are limited to knowing this instance of this particular thing. With the intellect, on the other hand, we can grasp the very natures of things as universal essences. The intellect abstracts the forms of things from concrete individuals and so becomes the things themselves intentionally. It has no nature of its own apart from its very capacity for becoming the objects that it knows. And so the intellect doesn't just know this tree and that dog, it knows and is treeness and dogness. The intellect is coupled with the will or rational appetite. As we saw with sensation, appetite follows upon cognition. The will is just the power that inclines us spontaneously to what is apprehended as good or fitting. The object of the will, then, is the good as apprehended, or the intelligible good. As the intellect is ordered to the universally true, so the will is ordered to the universally good. The will is also the seat of our freedom. Since in our experience we encounter no single concrete good that entirely sates our intellectual appetite, we are always free to choose among options. Ultimately, we are made for the vision of God, who is universally true and good, and we will be satisfied with nothing less than Him. Thus, while we live and breathe, we are free to choose among the various options on offer, as no one, save Him, can entirely answer to our desire. From bottom to top, then, man is outfitted with powers to engage profitably with a reality addressed to him. Indeed, man is fearfully and wonderfully made, equipped with everything necessary to navigate the goods on offer. For readings, podcasts, and more videos like this, go to Aquinas101.com. While you're there, be sure to sign up for one of our free video courses on Aquinas. And don't forget to like and share with your friends, because it matters what you think.